Questioning is another indicator that is directly connected to the Common Core standards. Questioning is an indicator that actually points to whether a student has the ability to move forward. Is it adequately assessing the student's knowledge? It's also important because questioning can advance what a student knows and can move the student to the next level, another direct connection to the Common Core standards.
I look at questioning, and I think we're really good at just generally asking lots of questions. But I think it's the quality of the question that really makes a difference. Interestingly, within the question indicator, it's not about teachers learning what the student knows. That's really not what this is about. What this is about is the teacher knowing how the student knows, or knowing how the student arrived at such and such a place within the learning.
Who feels confident that they know what Emily Dickinson's message is in Tell All the Truth But Tell It Slant? Justin, what is the message of Tell All the Truth But Tell It Slant?
I think that the message of her poem is that you should just tell the truth like gradually over time. Just don't go straight up and like diss somebody basically.
Okay.
Just like don't lie about it, but don't be straightforward either.
Okay.
Just to give it time to like sink in, I guess, if it's
Okay.
harmful.
I encourage teachers to go to the how and the why questions. How did this happen? Why did this happen? How did you arrive at that conclusion? Why did you arrive at that conclusion?
And how do you know that that message is the message of the poem?
So I picked the line, "The truth must dazzle gradually," because it kind of like just says it like that, I guess. It's says that it needs to like set in, but dazzle just means like in a good way, I guess, sometimes.
When questioning, knowledge is important, but that's not all of it. You do want to know if a student can create the proper answer, or the student knows the definition or the vocabulary terms, but you also want to know how they can use that knowledge in a number of different settings, in a number of different academic experiences.
So read that next line. The truth must dazzle gradually.
Or every man be blind. I guess that means that if you don't let it sink in, then I guess they'll be hurt about it.
Right.
Because if you just go straight forward with it,
You're going to hurt their feelings.
yeah.
Part of the teacher's role in questioning is to generate student questions. Spreading the responsibility for questioning from teacher to student really is the teacher's responsibility to create that environment, maybe to model that, maybe to give students prompts for students to have a platform to jump off of, to ask a fellow student a question or inquire or evaluate another student's work. Maybe the requirement is as straightforward as, I want you to come up with some questions to ask your neighbor.
Hey guys, I want you to look up at Randy's diagrams, and I want you to think, what is a question that we can ask Randy so that he can better clarify his work, so that if I give his work to any of you, you're gonna know exactly what his thinking is. Everyone's looking at his work. I wanna look for 8 hands. A question that we can ask Randy that will make his work even better.
When you are assessing students, it's important to question what they've learned, and then it's also important for you to allow them to question you about what it is that they're learning or the process that they're going through.
If the variable is the hours, he can keep driving.
Yeah, I think it is. I thought at first, yeah.
Should this be more than something?
Okay, what's your keyword? He has enough gas to drive.
At most.
At most?
Okay.
Oh, I see it now.
A mixture of question types is extremely important. We stay so focused, and it's so easy to spend our time in the knowledge level. And again, that gets back to our traditional route of recall. Do you comprehend this? Do you know this? Can you recall the steps? Can you recall the vocabulary? But the analysis type questions, the how and the why type questions, really get to the student's learning and really get to what can the student do as far as taking this information and apply it elsewhere.
So that should be less than or equal to.
It's great. Greater than this.
Hold on. Why? Why do you think less than or equal to?
Because yesterday it was the opposite. If it's most, it say it's like at most, the most you can get at most is, like you said, at most you can fit is 5 people in your car. That means you can't fit more than 5, you can fit less than 5.
Advancing questions is also extremely important. Within this idea of questioning students, it's not only to see where students are and to gauge a level. It's really not only to see what students know, but it's also to challenge students, to take them the next step further. Some of the so what type questions certainly are advancing questions to where, students have given me some feedback, students have maybe even given me some evidence, but so what about that? What's the next step in this process?
So if he can drive at most 320 miles, can he drive less than that?
No.
He doesn't have enough gas to drive less than 320 miles? Hold on, it's okay. So if he can drive at most 320 miles, can he drive more than 320 miles without running out of gas?
No.
No? Okay. Can he drive less than 320 miles without running out of gas?
Yes.
Yes. Can he drive exactly 320 miles without running out of gas?
Yes.
Okay. So he can drive.
He can drive like in the medium.
He can drive exactly 320.
Oh, exactly 220 or less.
Exactly. So how do we write exactly that amount or less than that amount?
Right.
What's our inequality sign? That means exactly that amount or less than?
Less than.
Less than or?
If it's exactly, it should be.
I remember it's the less than.
And then what's that little line underneath? Less than or?
Equal to.
Exactly. Less than or equal to. Because he can drive less than 320 miles, or he could drive exactly 320 miles. But can he drive 321 miles? No, because what's going to happen if he tries to drive 321 miles?
He loses gas. He loses all the gas.
Exactly. He has no gas. Good.
Wait time is extremely important. We all process at different rates. I'm sure in every classroom there's those few students who, as soon as the question is asked, their hand pops up and they're ready to respond. And traditionally, we have made the mistake of giving attention a lot of times to those quick responders. As a matter of fact, the students pick up on that. And the students actually challenge each other. Who was first? I was first. I beat you, and so forth. The wait time gives everybody a chance to respond. Maybe not everybody literally responding orally, but it's not really about the response. It's about the thinking that goes on inside of the student. And without the wait time, then every student doesn't have an opportunity to go through that thinking process.
Let's talk about what you've written here in this column for ordered pair. Okay, so I noticed that Josaphat has a set of ordered pairs that looks quite different from yours, Jason. So can you talk about what this means to you?
Mine I did the 1 and then the 5. And the ordered pair, I guess it would be like a coordinate, but I did mine with the slash because it's a little easier to tell them apart.
All right, so what is an ordered pair exactly?
A coordinate.
Coordinate?
The coordinate plane.
Coordinate for the coordinate plane.
Like 1, 5 or 7, 9, or not 7, 9, 6, 13.
Okay, Mia, what's your understanding of an ordered pair?
I don't exactly remember. Mr. Smith taught us last year, though.
Okay. So it does sound familiar, but you're not sure.
It rings a bell, I just don't remember exactly what it is.
Shravan, what's your understanding of an ordered pair?
An ordered pair is like a coordinate on a graph.
Okay. It definitely is a coordinate point on a graph, but there is a specific way you're supposed to write it, Jason. So you definitely need to have your parentheses, your comma, in between the two numbers, and them set in parentheses. All right. We're going to move on.
When questioning is done well, it allows students to think, but it also takes them back to the content. We always encourage students, if they're in a reading or even a math class, to use text-based evidence.
Why did you guys pick carbon steel?
We chose carbon steel because it's cheaper, and economy's hard, so you want cheap
and it like heats up fast.
Okay, but remember I told you guys to use science-based evidence, not just it's cheaper.
Oh.
So why did you guys pick it, Katie?
We picked carbon steel because it says that cast iron is that it needs to be seasoned before use, and it's also let's see, what else does it say? Carbon steel can also be used. It says something else about cast iron, and it basically says that it uses less iron than cast iron, so therefore it's just better because it just basically dogs cast iron.
Okay, well in terms of scientific evidence, did you guys have any pros that you picked this or any reason that you picked this over the others?
So the questions that I ask allow you to think, but it should also encourage you to go back and find proof that what I'm thinking is on the right line. But very intentional question allows teachers to bring and refocus students back in to what the standard and objectives or the goal is for that day.
So you just went with the physical characteristics and the economic characteristics.
It's also lightweight.
It's lightweight, okay, that counts.
Good question. It really encourages students to get past the baseline and really dig into a text or dig into a concept and really be able to come out with a clearer view of what it is they're supposed to learn as a result of the questions that the teachers have posed.